All right, Coach Lance here with CFSJ Inside the Box, the workout for when you can't be inside the box. Again, all of these workouts are designed to be accomplished in an 8-foot by 10-foot space, so whether you're in a hotel or in your living room or whatnot. I'm going to go through an equipment list in just a few minutes. You'll be able to see them down in the scroll. Any other questions should be linkable or they will be explained as we go on. So here's the equipment now. Go ahead and pause me. Go ahead and grab it. Let's get it going. All right, now that you've got your equipment together, let's go ahead and get started with some light cardio. If you have access to a treadmill or whatnot, go ahead and use it. We're gonna go for about 2 minutes. If not, we're gonna do 15 in-place burpees, doing a step back and a step forward, something pretty light. Just like the name implies, don't push the shoulders too hard on the first couple of reps. First 5 are gonna be very slow, making sure we alternate legs each time. Continuing on just a little bit faster. And go ahead and give me 9 more. All right, now that your cardio is done, let's go ahead and do some simple stretching together. We're gonna start off with 10 inchworms for the day. Big reach to the sky, forward fold. Don't push the hamstrings too far in the first couple of reps. Maintaining the plank, either long lever or short lever from the knees. Walking the hands back until the knees have to bend and continuing on for 10. Five. 2 more. And 10. Many times I'd rather do burpees than those. So next we're gonna go bootstraps. Sink into the bottom of a squat. Squats might be a little bit tight at the beginning. Totally fine. If hips aren't below parallel, we'll get there. Fingers on toes, elbows into knees. Providing a pry as you lift the hips up to the sky. As you pull down, elbows will be into the knees again, lifting the chest up. And we're gonna do 10 of these. After our 6th one, we should start feeling the hips opening up, chest staying up. Go ahead and maybe 2 more. All right, you should be finished with that. We're gonna go into pigeon. From a plank position, active pigeon, shoulders spread, heel up to the sky, sliding that foot through. Ideally, shin will be parallel to chest. Chest pries up. If this is a little too hard when we switch sides, instead of pulling the shin all the way through, or if I can't, I'm gonna let the heel rest right around the groin. And as we pick it up, we're only gonna hang here for a deep breath. Now, if this is even still fairly undoable, I'm going to cross the leg and bring the ankle back to the chest, taking the pressure off both the knee and the ankle, or allowing to get a little more hip mobility where I may not have any. And our last warm-up movement are going to be scorpions. Start off in a T, chest stays down. The idea for this is to get as much mobility through the spine, so it's less important that my opposite foot hits my hand, more important that my shoulder stay as close to the ground as possible. And you'll start to notice after about rep 4 or 5 that you can actually bring the foot all the way to the hand. Go ahead and give me 6 more of those. All right, perfect. Now again, if I went a little too fast, by all means, slow it down, pause the video where you need to, and come back to it. Go ahead and jump up, stretch around a little bit, and we're going to come right back into that activation. By the way, this is day 1. All right, now that we're back, we're going to start to activate the lower body in preparation for this workout and our strength moves. Today we're going to work on 3 things: the overhead Cossack, hip compression flutter kicks, and plank with leg abduction. Each of these is challenging in its own right, so take it slow. You're going to do 2 rounds of this. I'm going to demonstrate one, and then you have the choice to rewind or to pause it and then pick up when you finish. The overhead Cossack is important to engage the core, keep the shoulders back so that the torso doesn't lean forward. It's more important that we fight that torso movement than trying to get as deep as we can on that Cossack. So hands forward. We're going to take a moderate wide stance. And our first 2 reps are just going to be lunging from side to side. If that feels okay, I'm going to lift that toe up and drop the hip all the way to the heel, or as far as I can get it. You'll notice that with most of us, one side might be a little bit better. For me, my right side is a little bit better. My left side is pretty tore up right now. And we've got 3 more. Whoops. Redo that. Last 2. All right, now let's take a seat on the ground for those hip compression flutter kicks. A lot harder than these seem. You're going to pull the bit legs back into the socket. Fingertips are going to be slightly ahead. Now the farther forward, a little bit easier, it makes it the farther back a little bit harder. And you're just going to lift the legs and flutter for 10 repetitions. You're going to feel a lot in the abs and a lot in the quads. If you feel more in the quads than you do in the abs, probably doing it incorrectly. So play around with hand position until you feel quite a bit of burning in the abs. Let's go ahead and give you 10. 10 goes a long way. Lastly, we're going to do plank with leg abduction. Planks are going to be from our elbows. This does need to be a long lever plank. It's going to be hard to do from a knee position. Straight line between shoulders, hips, and knees. If you're not sure if you can trust yourself, go ahead and start from the laying position. Pull the belly button, tighten to the spine, tighten the glutes, lift yourself up. Now from here, and I've got this nice red line, I'm going to lift my leg, come over and touch, and we're going to go ahead and do that 10 total times alternating. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. 2. still working on it, I'll give you a few seconds, and then we're gonna do this exact same thing one more time. So at this point, you have a chance to rewind or pause it and work on your own. Today's strength targets skill, strength, and balance. We're going to be working Russian kettlebell swings, dumbbell snatches, and overhead squats. We're going to break down these movements by the hardest to what we're most used to. I won't even say it's the easiest. So go ahead and give me 5 squats. Each side is going to get its own complex. So during the 3 minutes, we're going to start all down the right side and then move all to the left side. So it's quite a bit of volume during this time. If you have multiple dumbbells or multiple kettlebells, I would say start off with the lighter one and let the limiting movement be the weight for everything. For me, it's probably going to be this overhead squat. And so even though I can kettlebell swing a lot more weight than I can overhead squat, I'm just going to work the overhead squat. So thumb stays back, shoulder blade stays retracted. I like to put a balance hand out here. It also keeps my eyes from looking down. Now, a lot of times my body feels a little better, about an inch or 2 wider on my stance than in my traditional back squat. Hands come up. I'm going to drop the hips, trying to resist the urge to lean forward. Go ahead and give me 3 more. On the other side. And you can put the dumbbell down. Going over the dumbbell snatch, it's a combination of a deadlift, a hip drive, and the turnover. So I'm going to start off with just 3 dumbbell deadlifts each side. On the other side. I'm going to continue that on with a hip drive and a high pull, just like I would with the barbell. Chest stays back, pop, let my elbow come all the way through. I should actually feel the bell handle pushing against my hand. And then I'm going to continue on, flipping that hand over and driving up to the sky. Now, if this was a really heavy bell, I might land in a power. But for here, I'm mostly going to stay in a muscle position. And now the Russian kettlebell swing. Starting from the ground, get myself, my hands on my knees so that my shins are straight up, shoulder blades back, belly button into the spine. And I'm going to resist the urge to twist or open up to get farther back. Go ahead and give me 10. Working on keeping the chest parallel to the wall in front of you. Let the hips do all the work on this. Keep that shoulder blade pulled back and the shoulder into its socket. After 10, switch sides. All right, we're going to be working that complex exactly in the other order. We're going to start with 7 kettlebell swings on our right, going into 5 dumbbell snatches, and then right into 3 overhead squats. So we've got 3 minutes. We're going to take the full 3 minutes on this, and then you're going to superset it in the next round to give yourself as much rest as possible. All right, here we go. Starting with the kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings. In 3, 2, 1, 7, 2, 3, 4. Make sure those hips are pushing forward. 5, 6, and 7. Down into the dumbbell snatch for 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turning that thumb back, widening that stance out. If you need to put the hand out for 3 overhead squats. 2, 3. Switching to the other side for 7 kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 dumbbell snatch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thumb goes back. Feet go a little wider for me for 3 overhead squats. Now, while I could handle a lot more weight in the kettlebell swings and I could handle some more weight in the dumbbell snatches, probably could not handle a lot more weight in this, at least in these opening rounds. So we've got 30 seconds left. What I'd like you to do is take that rest, either rewind, follow with me for 4 more times, or pause it and we'll meet you at the wad. Today's workout is a spin on an old classic. Annie is a classic 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Double unders and sit-ups. Now, if you don't have a jump rope, we're going to be doing jumping jacks, and I'll go over those standards in a second. If you do have a jump rope and you can do double unders, then it's 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. If you don't have double unders, then it's either double the number of singles or half the number of attempts. So 25 attempts or 100 singles for that first round. The spin on today is a front rack lunge. I'm going to be using a dumbbell. And we are going to keep it in a front rack, so it is going to switch. Every round is going to have 16, even though the other movements are going from 50 to 10. Now there are 2 ways of doing this. One really depends on stability. So shoulder blades are going to stay back, I stay forward. I'm going to try to not batter the knee as I come down. And I'm going to go all 8 on the right, and then switch arms and legs and do all 8 on the left. Now, as you practice this with me, it may be easier for me to step back. It might provide me some more stability. Drop the knee, come back. The only thing that I suggest is, as you do this, if you step back with one leg, step back with them both. Otherwise, you end up working the same leg in the same way. Now, for the double unders, I'm going to give one more option. That's the happy penguin. We've done these before. It's a good drill towards keeping our bodies tight and working towards the speed, jump, and coordination of the double unders. So feet are going to be together, shoulder blades are going to be back. As I jump, I'm going to double tap the hips on the way up. Now, I want to try to get a really high jump on this, and I'm going to try to keep my shoulder blades back. I'm going to know if my shoulder blades are coming forward if my hands start working their way down the legs. So 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 is acceptable today, working on that posture. The sit-up standards are going to be basic. Knees bent, feet on the ground, starting with the shoulders touching the ground, hands come up, reach the sides of the feet. If you want to touch behind you and fling your arms to get a little momentum, totally fine. And as these start to pile up, you may need to use the backs of your legs as long as shoulders touch, hands hit the sides. So let's go ahead and get ready. Starting off with 50 double unders, 100 single unders, or 25 attempts or 50 happy penguins, or 50 jumping jacks. Choose your poison, 50 sit-ups, 8 right, 8 left, front rack, front lunges. All right, we're gonna get going in 3, 2, 1, go.